we? Spaceman, a team that's been consistently capitalizing throughout this tournament until now versus a team that is hungry in that lower bracket. Who's got the stronger mental game?
I mean, I have to look at Oxygen. I know that this series was rough against Vitality. Rough is not even the right word. Look, you lose 4-1, but all games were close other than the 1v1 for Zen. The 3s was a blowout in both sides of the field, and the 2s was really, really good. But I look at Oxygen just skill-wise. Like, even with the sub, this is a team that should handle the business in 3s. They should be able to win with 1s with Jorius. I think you're going to see reserves for Jorius in the 1s. But other than that, like, Oxygen should be in the grand final with Vitality for a rematch.
Oh, I like the sound of that. Lemon, welcome back to the show. This match alone, you know, it grants the winner an additional $75,000 in charitable donations and bragging rights, of course. Let's just be honest. How are you feeling about it?
Good. I gotta disagree with Space about the mental game. Like, we know Oxygen well, but Monkeys have been in the lower bracket since round 1, and they got reverse swept. So to be reverse swept and to go through the lower bracket to a point that no one expected you to be takes a lot of resilience. So whatever happens in this match, I know there's a lot of energy behind Oxygen. You got to give it to Monkeys for even getting to this point.
Spaceman, you know, we've seen a few series go the distance this week, with ones being especially fun for the audience as they, you know, they get to see the true measure of the mechanical skill that these players have on offer. But Zen's just showing off at this point.
Yeah, you can't really stop him. Like, I'm sorry, it's not going to happen. So you're kind of hoping and praying that you can take out his teammates on the way. We saw it there on Oasis, which is now in rotation. So we got a new map in the pool. But look, this is the situation. You're going to have to play, whether it's Monkeys or Oxygen, you're playing Zen again. So be aware of that fact. But for Oxygen, like, that's the warm up for them. They just played the best team currently in the tournament. Now they have a chance to play a team that's ready and waiting to play them. That's always going to be a dynamic, but your reward is you then play Vitality. So, you know, good luck.
Yay.
Good luck, have fun. Lemon, we are used to seeing 3s in competition, of course, and the 1s is a chance to showboat, you know, bring the mechanics in, but the 2s, that's where it brings in an extra dynamic. Your decision-making is really tested because you don't have that additional buffer of that third player rotating constantly. Do you agree?
Yeah, I definitely think Jorius and Ixo played the 2s well. It's something that they made a change since the start of the bracket, having Archie, who's not playing today as well. And I thought Jorius and Ixo just synergized well. You have this new blood, this fresh face to the roster who is definitely bringing that hype and just that aggression that Jorius is able to connect well. And in the last 2s, maybe it wasn't as strong as I remember yesterday, but that's also against Vitality, who I think would make everyone look silly. But I still favor Oxygen in the 2s and just even though their previous synergy isn't as there, they look like they've had synergy previously.
With this best of 7, Spaceman, you know, we're going to see the winner face off against Vitality, okay? The grand final, they haven't really been tested yet, have they? So sure. My thoughts going into this for whichever team is just scrap it out. Go in with no pressure, just go at it. Do you agree? Or is this like a, let's hang back, see what we can do, and, you know, tactically, how do you even approach this?
I mean, look, I think the biggest takeaway here is, one, you don't think about the grand final at all. If you're Monkeys or Oxygen, you have to face the opponent that's in front of you, best of 7 again. But if you're Monkeys, attack the weak point. There's a sub on Oxygen right now, and that's got to be doing something to the mental, given the fact that Archie is so integral to the offense of this team. And the defense of Oxygen, granted, you're playing Vitality, I understand, but it hasn't been perfect today. And we've shown from Vitality's gameplay and from Oxygen's lack of ability to clear the ball at times that they're vulnerable. If your Monkeys come in with a physical game plan to attack the sub, get him out of rotation, take him out of play, and that'll make everything else break down in midfield. Monkeys should be headhunting on Oxygen today.
Attack the sub. You're so mean, Spaceman. Why would you say that?
I want blood.
Lemon, I'm going to go with you for our first prediction. What's your thoughts?
Oh, this is best of 7, right? I'm feeling like a 4-2 Oxygen. I think sometimes they have maybe I'm just recency bias over the Vitality match. I feel like Oxygen have these slower starts in 3s that maybe Monkeys can surprise people. They've surprised everyone in the lower bracket and getting to this point. So the underdog, I think, has a dog in him. I think Oxygen won't take this flawlessly, at least.
The underdog has a dog in him. Spaceman, Tom Cruise from The Last Samurai. What's your prediction? Take off the glasses. I want to see if it works. Come on, take off the glasses real quick for me.
I won't be able to see you, Banks, which means my hearing is now gone. But
in The Last Samurai, it's there.
Hey,
Sorry, quick prediction from you.
Cruise.
Go on.
Listen, I think at this point, like given how Oxygen has looked, granted they're in a unique situation here, but if you are Oxygen, I think they're winning this 4-0. I have to be different than Lemon Kiwi. It's only fair. We're on the desk. It's only fair. But I think they're winning at 4-0. I think they just had the best possible practice you could have had against Vitality. At this point, they have everything they need to get this done.
I mean, that is true. Best practice possible for sure. So let's head over to our casters for our lower bracket final. This is a mental game, this one. This is for a position in our grand final, best of 7. Dazarin and Corelli take us in to our lower bracket final.
Thank you very much, Banks. Yes, best of 7 here in our lower bracket final, Daz, and a matchup that is going to be interesting on multiple fronts. Obviously, Daz talked about Archie not being here. That 1v1 matchup with Raziers and Jorius, that's going to be an amazing matchup as well. Daz, what are you looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to some great Rocket League. That's what I'm looking forward to, Corelli, okay? We got Oxygen, you know, they're playing with the sub. I'm expecting Goffs to try to do something, help the team out. I mean, now keep in mind, he has been putting in some work, but it hasn't been enough to stop that man on the other side of Vitality, and he's playing around him. And I want to be able to see that go head-to-head against this Monkey squad, who we've known to be resilient over the course of things. And this will be quite the battle. We're going to start off with the 3v3, of course, to kick things off here, and we'll see if the analyst desk was correct here as well. 5 minutes on the clock, and here we go for our lower bracket final.
Yeah, you would feel like Oxygen coming in with the sub, obviously teams don't really practice with their subs that much. You would feel like maybe an opportunity here for Monkeys to pull out something, but of course Oxygen did beat Vitality in the 3v3 with Goffs out there, and of course he's been playing fine. He hasn't really been playing poorly at all.
Except for that one own goal.
Okay.
But that was a nice shot, though. He put that top right.
It was clean. It was clean.
It was clean.
Wrong goal. Wrong goal.
Yeah.
But that's just how it goes. And I think for Oxygen, I mean, listen, they still have a ton of talent here.
Yeah.
See if they can pull it out here against Monkeys in the 3v3. Again, best of 7. Winner has to play Vitality, who will have a 1-game advantage in that grand final. To get things kicked off, and Oxygen going to get out from their own, and that's a great tackle in midfield. The follow-up was there from Jorius, but the defense of Monkeys doing well to collect, and they, oh, hold on, oh, here comes Raziers as he tries to put this one on target. Follow-up there from Smokes, and it's a 1-0 lead for Monkeys.
I like this here from Raziers. I mean, the carry is great just to get this over. You see Matane, he was trying to look for a little bump as well, but it's really just forcing that tough clear out of Ixo, which sets up the lane for Smokes to be able to get the goal off the follow-up, that additional pressure. And when you have to like dive for a save constantly, it's really rare to be able to put it in a good spot to where you're not having to block a follow-up shot.
And I was about to say, before that goal went in, you know, Monkeys have really been our Koi in Europe. Koi making that big run in the lower bracket.
Yeah.
On the North American side, they were knocked out the first round, just like Monkeys have. And they've both made the runs back. Koi went all the way to a grand final. They had to beat G2, which was the team that originally knocked them down to lower bracket. We'll see if Monkeys can do the same here against Oxygen as they sit with a 1-goal lead, but some pressure now. As they get out very easily here. Smokes looking for 2. He doesn't have enough boost, and Oxygen don't deal with it nicely here. It comes off the back wall. Razier's touch, not enough. As Monkeys are forced to back off. Jorius kind of gave that one away, and Oxygen trying to put the pressure on, but it's a little disappointing.
He should have went for that.
He's got it to the backside, and it's wide open. Monkeys 2-0.
I saw Goss, he was looking at it. I was like, don't you dare jump for that. And he got punished quickly. He's too far away from that. Raziers is way more closer. Of course, Raziers knows that as well. He's got the one's experience to know the distance there. And Goff's just got picked apart there. You talked about earlier just kind of like abusing the fact of the sub and maybe Goff's experience. That's an example of it right there with that goal.
Yeah, certainly. Hold on, they're going to get one back. So off the touch from Jorius, who got the pinch from the ceiling, and Oxygen are able to find the response here.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice, too. I mean, to get it right back as well. Great play from Jorius to play it off the ceiling. Ixo's there. Solid placement. Monkeys can't afford to get too comfortable here. Sure, you had a mistake from Goffs, but Ixo and Jorius are going to do their part to make this game close.
So a 1-goal difference here in game 1 in the 3v3. Monkeys looking to come out on top here, holding on to their lead. Jorius takes a quality challenge in the midfield. Oxygen trying to push up their line. Jorius, he's got Ixo. He already pre-jumped this. As the pass didn't come exactly where I think Ixo wanted it. Had to adapt. Now Monkeys quickly back the other way, trying to make it difficult for Oxygen to set up their defense. Raziers to the back wall. Needs help. Goss doesn't deal with it nicely here as Jorius has to drop it down, and Monkeys putting on that pressure again. You're just seeing slight mistouches coming out from Oxygen. Monkeys, there's opportunity there, but Oxygen are able to get out. Now Jorius with the flip reset, trying to get two, and Smokes there to clear it away.
Interesting decisions in the offensive front of Monkeys. That's also an interesting touch. Ixo looking for that pass to Jorius, but there's so much traffic there, which makes it hard. Jorius now still trying to roll this through. You see Goff's just looking for the right moment here. Does he know? Yeah, he knows Matane doesn't have the boost there, so great initial touch and then also great follow-up on the 50. But Oxygen still struggling to be able to get out of their own half. Look at the Smokes as well, just staying on top. Monkeys are just trying to look for the best shot possible, not necessarily one that's quickest. They're not playing the speed game. If they know they're late, they understand, let's just play the 50 out, keep the ball on the blue half for as long as possible, and try to whittle Oxygen down.
A couple go from Oxygen. That one comes right out. Matane, can he put it on target? It's wide open. Nobody home for Oxygen, and Monkeys up 3-1.
Caught him out. Double commit there. Strong clear downfield. Ixo was still on the way back, and Raziers will steal that one from Matane. Matane had it all the way through. Monkeys up 2 now. Minute 19 to go. And Oxygen are trying to send their best foot forward. The execution and the communication has not been there from them. It has been a big contributing factor, but it's still time on the clock if they can get a goal and with some time on it.
So Oxygen rotation been very poor here, especially on the transition, getting caught out a couple times. And granted, it was a quick counterattack from Monkeys on a few of those touches, but Oxygen have got to be better than that defensively with their shape. Now Ixo trying to make amends. Raziers easily clears this one away, and Goff's forced to push this one back towards Ixo. Monkeys want more. This one into the box as Raziers backs off. Still keeping it awkward. Ixo, he almost got bumped away from the ball there. That would have been disaster for Oxygen with 30 seconds left. Monkeys all over them here in game one, Daz. It just feels like Oxygen were never able to get a hold on this game.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it talks about the communication, coordination, just being able to execute. Goff still started that off by going for a back pass, but afterwards, Monkeys, they won the extra challenge after, and then they kept the ball on their own half, or on the blue half, just completely whittling down the clock, playing these 50s. You said it yourself, you saw some of the team bumps come out, and more shots, more pressure as the time ticks down. Monkeys knew exactly what they were doing from the start. This game was complete control for them as they start the series off with the game 1 win.
Yeah, dominance here from Monkeys in game one. And I think when you look at this, some of the things that we talked about in the pregame, Daz, Oxygen obviously having the sub, definitely affected them here. The rotation has been very awkward in the 3v3 game. Even in the previous matchup, there were some very strange things happening, but I think Monkeys really exposed some issues here for Oxygen, just defensively in their shape. They've been beat over the top multiple times, and on the transition, felt like no one could get back in time, and Monkeys, what a dominant way to start this best of 7.
You're right. This is a dominant way to start it, too. When you talk about it, it's no disrespect to Goss, but you have to understand the position that he's in here. Just, you can see kind of the lack of experience, so to speak, where, again, some aggressive plays, but also you can see a little bit of just a communication breakdown on the side of Oxygen. Now, keep in mind, whether or not Oxygen was playing with Archie or whether they're playing with Goffs, this team has not been together for that long. There's still just communication things with Ixo being on the team as an individual as well. So there's a lot of figuring out Oxygen are doing as the tournament kind of continues on, whether for Monkeys, they've been together for a while to be able to know, okay, how are we going to be able to approach these situations in game? And you can see just exactly the difference when they're all on the field. Now we get ready to game 2, and
is it a 1v1?
I think it's a 1v1. It's looking.
I think I saw.
It's given ones.
I'm feeling ones here. I saw a player on each side, so I think it might be a 1v1 here. And if it is, there's a lot to talk about here with the matchup. You would assume, obviously, it's going to be Joris and Raziers. I don't know why it would be any different, but we'll wait and see what we get here from the players, as we don't know quite yet. We're seeing what you guys are seeing. So, but of course, Oxygen are forced to choose either 2s or 1s here. I would suspect they choose 1s, and you might even have the run back later on. You know, Joris has gone typically back and forth with Raziers. He would marginally favored. I think picking either of these players to win this one is fine. They actually just played on Fear Stream recently, where it was I think Raziers won 4-1 in that. But, you know, Joris has beaten him many times before, and in a tournament setting, it might be different as well. So we'll have to see what we get here. If it's 2s, I think this poses a very interesting thing, because if Monkeys were to win the 2s, you go back to 3v3, which Monkeys looked very dominant, and now you go into what is a relatively even matchup in 1s later on. So it's kind of fun to think about it, and it is 2s. All right, so we'll see. We'll see how this one goes as we get Raziers and Smokes on the Monkey side, Ixo and Goffs. Ixo and Goffs on the auction side.
Oh.
They did not. It was Joris and Ixo.
Yeah, it was Joris and Ixo last time.
On Vitality.
Maybe they know something we don't.
So we'll see. Maybe Joris isn't feeling it, or maybe Goffs is.
Maybe Goffs is trying to feel it. Maybe
Goffs is feeling it.
Maybe they need Goffs locked in. Because the initial game 1 wasn't good. If they can get him back, like, in form with this game 2, may serve well in the upcoming 3v3. We'll have to see. But still a tough task, no matter which way you look at it. I mean, you're talking about Smokes and Raziers here. Raziers already just a threat individually, and then paired up with Smokes. And Smokes definitely had some good decision making when he's on the ball, at least from what we've seen in this tournament. So it'll be interesting.
So we'll see. Goffs. Oh my. Ixo having to get back. First minute come and gone here. You feel like Raziers and Smokes might be the favored matchup now without Joris here. Smokes off the back wall. Raziers trying to play this one and keep possession. You can see Smokes trying to help him out as Oxygen just forced to use their boost and get these clears to go right back into the possession of Monkeys. Good touch by Ixo just to keep Raziers honest here, not to creep up too far. There's some space here for Smokes, but his touch gets away from him. Now Ixo wants to drop it down to himself and tries to take the shot. Decent control there, but Raziers able to clear it away, and still very, very, I would say, controlled first 2 minutes of this game, Daz. No one really getting the better of each other.
Yeah, which is saying enough within itself too. You got to think. You talked about it being a little one-sided, but look at that. Goff's trying to go for a bump on Smokes. Ixo will pick up the demo, and that's a great 50. Goffs can't get back there in time. Raziers' recovery is really good, but still threatening. As Oxygen's offense, a little bit questionable sometimes how they move the ball around, but it's been good so far. Ixo, top left slot, and Oxygen on the board first.
Oh my, I thought that shot might have been just a bit high, but he got it to come down off the crossbar, and a great touch here from Ixo. And a 1-0 lead for Oxygen after a very, I would say, quiet start from both sides. Just trying to feel each other out. Now the fake kickoff comes out as Ixo, well, he can't hold on to it. Halfway through game 2 here. Smokes over to Raziers. He's got space. Unfortunately, that touch. Monster clear. Oh my goodness. Goff's trying to get up to it. Couldn't get the read. Now the demos come out. Smoke's got a wide open net. If he could put it on target, he surely will. And it's 1-1.
Now looking at this again, I think this one's on Ixo, because Ixo goes forward to try to continue to play the ball, keep the pressure up, and he just gets demoed. So then it's an open, clear lane there for Smokes. Monkey's able to send it through, tying things up. It starts, of course, with the ambitious challenge there from Goffs, but Ixo with the follow-up, he knows Goffs is out to play. He has to make a decision. Just kind of got caught out, didn't expect that demo behind him.
So a couple of kickoff strats coming out here from both sides, fake kickoffs and demos, but none paying off so far. You'd love to see that, though. Goffs can't hold on to it. It's up to Ixo. Has to come up big on this save, and he does. Raziers was threatening the back wall. Goff's trying to hang on to this one. It's going to be tough to get back to it with low boost. Smokes makes him pay. A lot of work here on this back one. You have to pay attention to the back wall in twos, especially defensively. You can expose your opposition's back wall. You open up a lot of options. And now Bump's coming out. Smokes trying to buy time to see what happens in front of him. And everyone kind of clogged the lane.
Feels like a lot of just testing going on the field right now. Oh, we got the 1v1 Smokes. Oh, Goffs went low. I like the idea. He was also low on boost. Just didn't want to flick the ball away. Play a bad 50. Ixo's tough. Oh, my goodness. So knowing Ixo's in the air, Goff's still going for that challenge. I mean, I like it. Clearly, Monkeys did not expect him to go at all. And it actually kind of helped save that play for Oxygen. Now they have the ball. They have possession. And if they could get past Monkey's defense within the final minute, they could put themselves in a position to win this game. I mean, it's been pretty close the entire way through. I'm actually very surprised.
Very evenly matched here in this 2v2. Smokes trying to give this team a lead here. 45 seconds left. Oxygen looking for a way out. They've been denied on multiple clears. Monkeys have done a great job of locking on boost here for Raziers. Can he drop it down on target? He had options to pass. Ixo knew the shot was coming. Smokes now with some boost. Beat out by Ixo. It's just Raziers back. Goff's trying to get the challenge. Won't get there in time. And some space spot here for Monkeys. Raziers the one-on-one, but Goffs is able to race back. As Raziers does get the boost here. Dangerous situation now for Oxygen. Waning seconds of game 2. And Monkeys looking more and more threatening here. Smokes the weak shot over on the Oxygen side. As Razier is still not letting them out. Looking for the dunk and gets it. Maybe the last chance. Goff's going to be the hero. 0-second time.
Oh, he tried to go for the bumps.
Smokes denies, and overtime we go.
Oh, Goff's tried to go for the bump there. I wonder if he tries to play it high instead, how that would work. But I think Smokes might have had a good read on it. Well read, though, by Smokes. And honestly, again, I like the play from Goffs as well. Just could not get that final bump. Now they got to play a little bit of defense as his OT starts off. But they've been managing Raziers and Smokes really well. Raziers and Smokes on the other side of Monkeys have also been doing just a good job of not overextending or sending too much forward on offense. Both sides of the field here, very smart in the way they've been moving the ball.
It's been a chess match here in game 2, and Goffs might have just broken through. Can he put it on target? He put it wide. And Smokes is able to get back in time. He had just a sliver there on the near post. If he could have slotted it through, he won the game. And we keep going here in overtime, Daz.
Yeah, the way this game is going, even the slightest mistake or the slightest opportunity you get on offense, you get a shot like the one Goff's had, you got to be able to send it home. Because those opportunities aren't coming as often as you'd like them to. You know, they're not as available. So seeing what both teams can do if they get a little bit of space, very key. As, I don't know, this overtime has potential to be a long one,
yeah.
Corelli.
It's been a slow one. There's been opportunities. Now this one, crossbar. Raziers is going to go as well. Oxygen does well to stabilize defensively. There comes the demo, but Ixo very quickly there to follow up, and you can see Oxygen in a good spot now. Ixo buying time. He's got boost to work with.
Oh, that's so aggressive.
Got it. Oh, and Goffs went too far in. An aggressive challenge leads to the counter, and Raziers takes game 2 for Monkeys.
Man, I think Goff saw an opportunity, wanted to get the 50 win to try to pinch the ball to the right side, and took himself out the play. Raziers was waiting, and it's just a slow roller into an open net there. Monkeys up 2-0 in the series, and we're going to head back to the 3v3 Corelli. And it makes the road so much harder here for Oxygen as they put up a tough fight in the twos. And again, it's important to contextualize the crew battles format here as we move forward, because we go back to a 3v3, Dez. Monkeys sitting at 2-0. If they were to win that, you go to a 1v1. Now, all pressure would be assumedly on Jorius in that 1v1 against Raziers to keep his team alive here in this tournament. That's a lot. And maybe that's something that Jorius could feed off of here, but that's also assuming that they lose this next match, which we'll have to see. But just again, these are the things that happen in this fun format of crew battles. So something to think about. But we have to get through this threes first, where last time we saw it, it felt like Monkeys just completely dominated Oxygen. Right. Right. And maybe after overtime, Oxygen can get things a little bit more together. Although I am a little bit concerned, mental-wise, just after losing that twos, like they played it so close just for that mistake to happen. And then an open roller, you got to be able to lock back in and get back into the game. If they could do that, and then also, just kind of improve on the rotations a little bit more in the threes department, maybe they make this a little bit more closer than what it is and buy themselves, some extra time to try to bring themselves back into the series.
Yeah, you got to be a bit safer in this 3v3 for Oxygen. Everything else was going fine for him. It's a big game, but just rotationally, when you looked at how Oxygen transitioned from offense to defense, they were caught multiple times in the game one. And that was their biggest mistake, and the one that lost them the game. That's what cost them game one. So we'll see if they can make some changes here. Goffs and Jory is trying to combine to get this one downfield. Here it comes out to Goffs. He put it on target. He put it off the wall. Follow up.
Whoa!
Big save from Raziers as Monkeys hanging on. A flurry of shots from Oxygen. The wall was built up in front of the net. Maybe not over here as finally Smokes is able to clear it away.
That was so close. I will say, though, on the other side of things, it's been challenging to keep up with Ixo on blue team with a gold card. I know it's one of those things that kind of bothers me a little bit, but that means, like, sometimes if the play happens too fast, I just see a goal card shooting at the worst. I'm like, is he own goalie? But regardless, the Ixo has been in the right places at the right time for Oxygen. Just those final shots not really getting towards the back of the net. We'll see how Oxygen are able to kind of manage the pace. They are putting on some strong, quick pressure, though, which is really put Monkeys in a tough spot.
Yeah, and Monkeys have had to go through their challenge game to break out of these tough spots. As here comes Smokes, and he drop it down under Jorius. Great challenge from Jorius. Raziers lets it go. Matane's there, and again, a low shot follow-up. It's a tap-in for Smokes, and it's 1-0 Monkeys.
And there it goes, man. When you have to deal with a high-pressure shot like that, with just a lot of speed, getting that clear so important. Goff's not able to really, he kills the ball out in front, but there is no follow because there's a double commit in the net. It's just wide open for Monkeys to score.
Great fake there from Raziers off the corner of the wall there. Allowed for that space for the follow-up. And Monkeys better for it. A 1-0 lead now. And once again, controlling pace of play. Raziers into the midfield. Smokes and Raziers both going for this one. No one keeping possession as Jory is trying to pop this one up, keep it awkward for Monkeys on the transition. Here's Goffs, wants to take it himself, has to try and take a challenge instead. Ixo towards the net. Goffs wants a bump on Raziers. Raziers, oh my, look at the control. A flick to the sky, Matane can't drop it down, and Monkeys once again very slowly chewing away at the defense. Matane couldn't get over it. He put it up and over the net.
Moving too fast. Get off the gas, Matane. You have that one lined up, and instead overshoots it, drives his Octane just into the net. Now he's trying to get some control, see if he can get it back. Good flick, good goal. Monkey still scoring with that extensive pressure.
And exactly, you can see how much time we've spent here on the blue side on the Oxygen's defense. Monkeys have just been gnawing away at them, waiting for their moment for the open net, baiting in challenges, and keeping possession has been so crucial in the 3v3 for Monkeys. And it's paid off once again, 2-0 now, halfway through game 3. As Oxygen, they need something to happen for their offense, because right now they're playing a lot of defense. This one up and over. Jorius off the crossbar and in. It's 3-0 Monkeys.
This is not looking good for Oxygen. Strong challenge, though, from Razier. Sends it way downfield. Up bar down and in as well. Monkeys just in form. They've just got a read on Oxygen right now. But Oxygen, maybe it's not even that. I think it's a mix of that and Oxygen just not having all the pieces together.
And I mean, listen, with that aside, Monkeys have been doing this to everyone. Everyone in this lower bracket, they've been crushing through. The 3-0 over Fufax Stop, the 3-1 over German Amigos, the 3-0 over SA. Now they're 2-0 over Oxygen, looking at 3-0 at the moment here in this best of 7. They have been consistent in every single one of their matchups so far. And now Smokes, is it wide open? Oh, he can't get the flip reset to put it on target. They're happy to hold their lead here. It's really on Oxygen to change this pace of play, but I just don't see it happening. Monkeys have been too fast, too aggressive, and Oxygen, they haven't had a chance to bring the ball down and choose what they want to do with it.
Yeah, I mean, every time the ball gets to someone from Monkeys, they are able to get it past one, normally getting a flick. They have no real challenge in the midfield. That challenge from Joris, what we saw, is the most we've seen in the last minute or so. This is finally some form of pressure here from Oxygen, but it feels like they're getting started too late. With a minute 10 to go, there just doesn't seem like there's enough time on the clock.
Well, it's only a minute left. You're down by 3, maybe 4, as that one pitches out. Opportunity here in the transition for Oxygen, as Raziers, he's going to pick up the ball, and of course, a demo will help out to lower the numbers of Oxygen on the attacking side. A touch here from Joris, and the demo. Ixo, surely going in here. One back for Oxygen with 44 seconds left on the clock.
Now look, I'm okay with being wrong here. Absolutely. This is a great burrito demo on the play. Ixo able to push that one into the back of the net, and now the race begins. 44 seconds to go. Monkeys had a 3-0 lead before that goal has been scored. Could this be a late surge from Oxygen?
Time will tell. Kickoff was good for them as this one awkwardly comes out from the box. Clears from Monkeys, finding the gaps. Follow up here from Goff's shot on target. Decent shot, but defense holding strong for Monkeys. Goffs didn't have a lot of options there. Ixo wants to play this one over to Goss. Touch off the ceiling, looking for follow-up, but again, Matane is there to stop the offense from Oxygen. Jorius has to take matters into his own hands, but again, denied on the flip reset. Matane has been rock solid for Monkeys as they march to a 3rd game win here in this series.
Final few seconds, and one more goal just to get that 3-goal lead back for Monkeys. And my goodness, they gave up one, but the end is the same as the start. Monkeys striking Oxygen down. This time, series put on match point. As Oxygen show no signs of stopping the Monkeys, they are going crazy.
3-0 for Monkeys at the moment, and we go back to the 1v1, Daz, or we go to the 1v1 for the first time, excuse me, here in this series. As you know, you're going to get the Jorius and Raziers matchup. At least that's what it should be. And that will be an interesting one. And again, what we talked about earlier, now all the pressure is on Jorius here in this 1v1. There's not a lot of pressure on Raziers. If he loses, Monkeys go back to a matchup that they know they've been confident in against Oxygen twice now. And if they lose that one, then they get to choose a 2v2. So it's a great spot to be in if you're Monkeys. And on the other side for Oxygen, you're really putting pressure on Jorius to perform here on match point.
True, but even if Jorius does perform here on match point, it goes back to the pressure on the rest of the team, which you have to look at that, for example, as well. If we're just talking about the series as a whole, because the team has not, they've lost in every game mode at this point. 3s twice, 2s once, and that was without Jorius playing. So Jorius in this position, I mean, sure, he's in a tough spot, but it wasn't like he had help, you know, getting there. So we look at this one here for Oxygen. This either could be their last game of the tournament, or we may even see more here, but it needs to be a step up across the team as a whole.
Well, maybe the final match here is Raziers. Oh my goodness, puts one away in the first 9 seconds.
Okay, that's how we're starting it off. Look at that musty bang. Jorius he had the read on, he knew where the ball was going to go, just not enough speed. There was more speed behind the ball than Jorius could ever get with that Fennec, unless he pre-jumped it. So already a nicely favorable start here for Raziers.
We talked about it earlier. Fear actually had these two play on a show match just a few days ago. It was 4-1 in favor of Raziers. But a matchup that I would say is pretty even, if not a notch favor towards Jorius, especially in a tournament setting. Go either way on this one, though, as Raziers maybe threatening a second one here. It's a great touch by Jorius just to get that ball out of his end and back to the other side.
Oh, he missed up the chain dash a little bit. Raziers is going to send that all the way downfield, but it's not on target. He even tested Jorius to see if he had the read on it. And Raziers, I mean, we talk about his recovery as well. Like, even if he overextends a little bit or gives his opponent some room or where they think that they may have a play, he gets back and so fast to deny. And really makes you, if you're playing against him, have to make the most out of your opportunities. Maybe even a chance here. You see this one, it's a floater, but Jorius doesn't have a play on it. Raziers is back, and he got that boost. So that's why Jorius is bumping, saying, get out the way. Don't touch the ball. Now you need to get some boost. Oh, you don't have boost. This is dangerous. Okay, we'll boost it up. Jorius is able to at least buy some time, and now he's got the advantage.
And Razier says, I learned my lesson. I'm going back. I'm getting the boost. And boost now for Jorius. Takes the sky. Looking for the bump on Razier's. Got it. Tied up. Clean from Jorius. As the boost battle eventually ended up even, and the possession in favor of Jorius, and he'll get in front of Razier's, and even I don't even know how much contact he really made on Razier's, but of course Razier's having to navigate around Jorius there.
Yeah, you saw Razier's use the dodge to try to get like that trajectory away from Jorius, but also onto the ball, and then he tried to do a little bit of work himself. But now Jorius, quick little chain dash, no boost. Playing it slow, says, I'll get this now. You can take the ball. He gives away possession also, he can take boost. Razier creeping. Does he play high? Does he musty? Oh, goodness!
Oh,
gracious.
my.
Top left, what?
How does he let this happen again? Razier's in tight quarters. Oh, the breezy. Up and over off the crossbar and in. Clean, clean, clean from Razier's.
And that's crazy because, man, it has been a while since I've seen the breezy too. Because at first I thought he was trying to fake it. I was like, oh, wait, he's faking. And then he just activates. He lines it up.
I mean, and they've been just butter from Razier's. The first goal, the second goal, this one, an easy tap in over the top of Jorius. And clean goals coming out from Razier's. That time just winning the challenge. Calling out the bluff and an easy tap in.
All right, Jorius has to get this a little bit under control. My man's been in the battlefield. He had to try to save a musty, try to save a breezy. Razier's is really pulling out all the stops. Jorius had initially got the air dribble bump, but he's also been applying a good pressure, keep it close to the ball, and not letting it get out of hand. Oh, he played the low 50. It worked out. Jorius within one.
That was smart from Jorius. He knew Razier's was diving at it, so he just put it under. Very smart play from Jorius. Listen, you don't have to be putting away breezy shots. You just have to beat the last man.
Get the ball in the goal.
Touch. You got to just score. Smart play from Jorius as he gets one back. Plenty of time here. This one's going to be a battle. Placement.
Oh, that was close.
Good save again from Jorius. Boost here. He went for the air dribble bump last time. Let's see if he goes again. Go up
plays
high.
it over him. Got him. He played it over him. I like this because you got to look really at Razier's car here. He initially goes up and then it thinks that maybe Jorius is going for a bump or playing it low. And once Jorius, he's keeping his eyes on Razier's car as well. But once he realizes he can go over him, he just immediately turns on the jets.
Very clean air dribble there from Jorius. And now they'll back off Razier's to go the other side. Here he comes again. The aerial attack from Jorius. Coming back down. He's going to go up again. Waiting for Razier's to bite. And great patience there from Razier's. I mean, Jorius was showing a lot there, right? He could have taken it into an air dribble, could have taken a flip reset, but he just kind of went up and down. And Razier's knew that. Oh my gosh, is he going to hold on to this one eventually?
Bullying him.
Now Jorius couldn't get the shot off when he wanted to, but now a flick up and over. Oh my goodness, Jorius so smart again as he takes the lead.
Wave dash into a flick. This is great because he sees Razier's creeping, immediately turns on the pressure into a flick, forcing Razier's to have to try to go up for it because it is pushed to the top left corner, and Razier's just couldn't get the timing right. Great effort from Jorius. He's on a run here.
This has been all Jorius here in the back half of this game. Taking over possession. The boost game's been in his favor as well. And he's put Razier's in a very tough spot. And oh my goodness, Jorius coming from the sky. We were on the Razier's cam, and Jorius just smacks it down into the net.
Look at that, off the ceiling, doesn't miss a beat. One bounce right into it. What a goal from Jorius. And he's got to be on like a 3-1 run in the last 2 minutes. An impressive turnaround. Got the boost again. Can he show us more? How many you want? Okay, he got 2. And they tried to go for the ground. If it would have got 3, I would have been like, whoa.
You're getting 2 on that one. And now Razier's threatening the net here. You take away the boost from Jorius. Down, and Jorius just gave it away. Razier's tapping it in. Jorius just not getting the read and obviously didn't have a boost to work with. We're within 1. I told you, this one's going to be a battle. Very close.
Yeah.
As Razier's now, he's going to have to fight back. 1 more goal here in the last minute and a half. Or a minute and 2 seconds, excuse me.
Minute 2 seconds. Like I said, 1 goal. This is where Jorius goes for the boost here. Opts to let Razier's take the ball. Razier's trying to play the 50. Good effort from Jorius. Didn't get the boost either. So now Razier's is going to try to force this in. Can Jorius get back in time? Oh, there's the bounce. Looking for the top corner. Jorius got the read, but he doesn't have the boost to get back to the ball. And we are all tied up.
And I think Razier's really got bailed out here. I think he could have scored it initially on the flip reset, but Jorius' extra touch there is what did him in. Razier's whips back around. And a tie ball game here with 43 seconds left.
It's tense. We've had 10 goals this game. And both players have shown their ability. That much is true. Razier's has the flip. It's for the ground pitch. Got him. Bottom right corner. Razier's has got 2 back-to-back goals.
And you got to hand it to Razier's. Every single one of these mechanical plays, they have just been clean. Again, just butter on the pinch, straight into the net. So easy. Makes it look so easy on the big stage here against Jorius. It's 6-5, and Razier's back into the lead, trying to take this series in the final 30 seconds.
Gotta go for this play. Has to execute if you're Razier's here. Jorius, okay, playing it safe on the side of Razier's. Just lets Jorius gets to clear. Now he's going back into the air, killing more time on the clock.
Oh my
got 2. Oh my God!
It's so smooth. It's elegant. It's beautiful. From Razier's, the double flip reset, and he makes it look so easy again. Jorius can't get there in time, and a 2-goal lead with 13 seconds left.
You can't see me. I got a stank face right now. Oh, that was gross. Final 10 seconds here. The 1v1. Razier's will roll this around the field. It'll hit the ground, but I mean, what a way to end it. Razier's closes out the series for Monkeys, and they are moving on to the grand finals.
That was a beautiful showing of mechanics from Razier's. The musty, the breezy, the pinch shots, the double flip resets. I mean, go back and you watch those if you want to learn how to execute each and every single one of those mechanics. My goodness, we're going to see him here in the replays. Oof. There's the musty, and it was beautiful from Razier's, and Jorius was able to fight back with an air dribble bump there, but here comes the breezy. Off the crossbar and down.
It's not fair.
And for Razier's, this was a clinical performance from him.
It was, but I mean, you got to give credit to Jorius too. The fight that he had to be able to read when Razier's did and didn't have the ball, and those extra efforts in goal scoring opportunities was great. But then here was the run. 1, 2, 3, and give me 4. Well, actually, give me 2 on the double flip reset. My God. That is, I mean, if you need a goal to submit the series, that is one there, Corelli.
Yeah. And again, Razier's made it look beautiful. I'm curious if we'll even get to see the 1v1 against Vitality. Vitality, of course, is the final boss here in this tournament, and they're waiting in the grand finals for Monkeys. This has been an incredible run for Monkeys, as they've been able to do what Koi did in the NA qualifier as well, where they just make the run all the way to the finals. But will it be different in Europe? I don't know, Daz. Will it?
You know, that's not a question for me to answer. That's a question for the desk to answer. Let me send that back to Big Banks. You've been looking good. Let's go see what you have to say about that series.
Thanks very much, Daz. I put this suit on just for you, so thank you for the shout. I feel like we should stop doing predictions, okay? Are jinxes real, or maybe just the power of the lower bracket carries more momentum than we once thought? Either way, best of 7 dusted. Thank you so much, Dazarin and Corelli, for taking us through that. Again, that momentum, it was just too strong, and also great mental game from Monkeys as well. I'm joined by Spaceman and Lemon Kiwi in the studio. Don't you two look silly now, don't you? Well, we got our grand final match lined up now, Lemon.
Yeah, I think it's the Koi effect from North America. You know, when they went up against G2, we're like, oh yeah, it's obviously G2 going to the final. No, the underdogs, you got to keep your eye on them, especially in these crew battles. But we knew something was in the air for Oxygen, because when they had Goffs and Ixo in the 2v2 and not Joreuz, I'm wondering, is he off his game? Clearly not, because they put him in once, had a good fight, but Monkeys better on the day. Oxygen not able to bounce back. They're just fresh off a loss. I don't blame them.
Yeah, it sounds like a long shot, but special mention, Spaceman. Raziers stepping up to the plate against Joreuz, who's been playing so well this whole week. But you've got to say, like, it just seemed like that would have been a turning point for Oxygen, clearly, because that was their last opportunity, but couldn't be done.
Yeah, and look, that's kind of the question mark maybe after that series against Vitality was, is Joreuz in his own head? And if so, is it going to affect the team? I don't really think he was, but that's just credit to, again, Raziers in the 1v1 matchup. We knew that's what's going to be going into this. And again, what worked for Zen against Joreuz was goal line pressure and the mechanics. Same thing here, where Raziers used space and all of the boost to double reset on Joreuz's head. And it just kind of rolled, that momentum rolled into other game modes. And we just see the constant pressure that Monkeys were able to put on. Granted, a lot of the series came down to small mistakes defensively there on double commits you just see from Oxygen. But it just never felt like Oxygen were able to get their footing, maybe kind of what they did against Vitality. There were opportunities, not a whole lot against Monkeys. I am genuinely surprised this one was a 4-0. I didn't think that was going to happen.
Yeah, that definitely.
Team, that's all.
Yeah, that was absolutely
that was,
a blast, wasn't it? I mean, as we get the highlights on our screen, presented by Aramco, I mean, let's be real. All of our pros, they're familiar with each other, aren't they? So form tends to play a huge part, especially in competitions like this, you know? Oh, is Zen on top form right now? Is Raziers on top form right now? Let's apply additional pressure in the correct places, right, Lemon? As we see Raziers being our MVP, brought to you by Savvy Games Group. Sorry, go ahead, Lemon.
Oh, he just played out of his mind today. All of Monkeys, this lower bracket buff, man. We talked about it in North America. The mango vibes. You drop in the first round, you make the run through, and I think there's a lot of respect from Monkeys towards Oxygen to play at their peak. And Oxygen, you know, like I said, they're fresh off a loss, only able to put up 1 goal in their threes match is very surprising. I thought really Oxygen were going to have a better offensive fight. Like, I knew their backs got pushed against the wall against Vitality, but that's one of the top 1 teams in Europe. But I thought offensively Oxygen were going to have more opportunities, and they just didn't.
Spaceman, we've got an updated bracket for you. We're going to throw that on the screen very, very shortly. And I want you to take us through this, you know, because, you know, we've got matchups that we had on day 1. Would you have expected this grand final given the teams we had lined up?
Vitality, yes. Monkeys, no. I think a lot of us expected either Oxygen or BDS to be in this point. Granted, you had German Amigos, you had G1 that could have been a dark horse. Monkey, of course, filling in that slot, being that dark horse. But I did not expect this team to handle business against Oxygen the way they did. I expected Oxygen or BDS to be basically fighting for top 2, and Vitality doing what Vitality does. Yes, this is absolutely the prediction everybody had, and it's coming true because they're the best team right now in this tournament, trying to make a statement for the best in Europe as we have, but we'll see if that comes to fruition against Carmine later in the year. I think this is a pretty interesting grand final because you basically have Dark Horse versus the best, and that's just kind of how the cookie crumbles because BDS decided to not show up and Oxygen decided to play no offense. So here we are.
If Monkeys manage to do this, this will be the most insane upset I've seen in Rocket League for sure. But, you know, it's time to find out who our champions of Europe are going to be. We're going to dive into a very short break, but don't go anywhere. We've got a best of 7 coming up after the break, and it's for $300,000 and the crown of EU. See you in a bit.